Man, my birthday was so amazing. Thank you guys, especially the ones that made the video and wished me a happy birthday. It's awesome. Look at my hair, it's just like sticking straight up right now. My name is Ken, I'm with Flowtricks. I'm gonna be working some doubles today. First, I just wanted to say hello. Tell me what you thought about the videos where they were quiet. I like to make them precise, but with doubles I do need to explain some things, because with doubles you can work on the techniques, but you need to understand that when you're doing techniques, you have 4 different variations that you could be working in. And by those 4 variations, if you're working in one of the patterns, for instance, you're going to have those movements within those patterns. If you're using the other patterns, you may not be able to do these moves if you're doing this other pattern. So before you start, I kind of want you to understand that you're working with 4 patterns first, because nunchuckers generally work with just a couple of these patterns, but you can use them all. The most typical one that nunchuck users use when they're doing doubles is this one right here. And I'm going to put the chucks down for a second. I'm going to kind of show you what that pattern is. We'll work on more later. This is just part 1. Essentially what it is it's this motion. And I want you to put the chucks down because you got to learn this motion first. We're going in opposite direction. And when I say opposite direction, split time is what we're working with. And if that doesn't make any sense, that's okay. Opposite direction means my right hand is making one type of circle, clockwise or counterclockwise, and my other hand is making the exact opposite circle. So both of this is going opposite directions. As you can see, my hand is making, well, for me it's clockwise. It'll look counterclockwise to the film. This is making a clockwise pattern to me. And then this one is making a counterclockwise circle. This causes the hands to join in the center and to come outwards as they move. Now this is opposite direction, okay? Now with opposite direction, there's either same time or split time. Same time is my hands are moving at the same time, hence the same time. We also are going to work with split time, and there's more, but this is probably the 2 most popular ones. Split time opposite direction is what most double chuckers start with, and that's going to be once this hand hits 12, this hand starts moving. And then this goes up to 12, and the other hand hits 6. Like that. It almost feels like that John Travolta thing, you know? It's almost got like this disco feel. But what you can think of is if your hands are both resting, take one hand and move it up to 12. The moment it moves to 12, the other hand's going to move up towards the center, towards your chest, not from the outside. It's going to move up towards the center while this is moving down to the outside. Boom. So here, here. Like that. That is the move that we're going to work on with our chucks to begin with. We're going to grab chucks in our hand. Once you do it without the chucks, do it without the chucks, or take the chucks and just kind of hold it there, like wrap it around you or whatever, and just see if you can just get this to go. Because this is what you want. 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And just creating circles. Now, once the chucks move, you're going to go to this move right here where nothing's tucking yet. So the next step is just to get your hands just to do these circles. Circle, circle. I'm going to stand backwards a little bit so you can see better. So hands up to 12, one's at 6, and you're exchanging. And there's all different kinds of motions that we can eventually get with the moment the chucks start rotating. Now, one thing you're going to notice, if I don't have the chucks rotating at all, this is about the only option you're going to get. But the moment you add rotations to the mix, you're going to start having more varieties of things that you can do. And then you can add hand rolls, and all of a sudden we have the standard double motions of whatever. So, what did I just do? I was just working on one pattern, okay? There's so many more patterns. There's 4 prime ones that I want you to be aware of. We're just working on the first one. Here's how it works. Once you do this motion here, I want you to start imagining that you can start, we're going to start tucking it back. Best way to do it is to actually get really good with one. So you're going to have one chuck in one hand, and you're not going to do anything with it right now. You're just going to work with this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to spin it up to 12 o'clock, and it's almost going to be like a figure 8. We're going to pull it behind us. So here to here. It's behind us. we're going to slash it down. It's going to make one beat to get back in front. So this is what I want you to try to do. If you notice, the only times it's spinning is when it's going a half moon here, doing one spin to the shoulder. So half moon tucks behind. Again, let's go half moon, tuck behind. If you hit the back of your head, you're probably angling it wrong. Just give it like an upward lift to get behind you. So here, upward lift to down. So here, upward lift. Now, it's going to want to swing because we're making the circle behind us, right? So it's going to be a very straight shot sideways. So if it comes here, it's coming straight down and sideways like this. Okay, so here. Once it gets to the hip, it's going to be the exact same thing. My palm is going to be facing outward towards the wall. It's going to do one rotation, and this rotation is going to be a figure eight, as you can see. So here, rotate. It's called a hip reel, but basically we're trying to get it to rotate into a figure eight, back to the front, so we can slash it back up. Now, if you can get all these motions, it's going to simply be here, rotate once, kind of like figure eight, pull it back up. Here, here, here. Here, here, here. Do this till you get really comfortable with it, and then try it with the other hand as well. Because you have to be able to do both at both hands. Now, the two directions that we could be doing, and you'll obviously see the one that chuckers use the most. We could either do same time, same direction, or I'm sorry, opposite direction, same time would look like this, where they're moving at the same time. That would be kind of like if our hands are going like this. See, they're always moving simultaneously. Or the split time, which, of course, is the obvious one. As soon as this one goes up, this one's coming up, and that's going down. It's the same thing as if this is up and this is down. Remember how we were going, my bad. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. One hand's up, one hand's down. It's the same thing here. This hand's up, this hand's down. As it pulls up, this hand's up, this hand's down. You use that extra circle. You have to have that circle on the top to give you a beat down at the bottom. And then once you get to the bottom, you have to give it another beat for your other hand. That way it makes it pretty even. So it's going to be swoop, swoop. Guess what you do from here? If you can do hand rolls, if you can do figure eight wrist rolls, you can just add wrist rolls once you can get to that point. So again, first one, you're just going to start with no beats, which is this. Okay, just to get your hand motions. Then we're going to start tucking it in. So once we do this, we're going to add the beats. And then once we get here, the moment our right hand or our dominant hand comes to the forward, let's go ahead and add a wrist roll to it. Wrist roll. Okay, we're going to wrist roll up to our neckline, and we're going to pull it back and we're going to wrist roll down. So wrist roll up to the neckline, wrist roll down, and as soon as it hits our hip, we're going to kind of reel it back. So wrist roll, reel, wrist roll, reel. That's the advanced motion, okay? If you can't get that far, don't feel bad. Just work on this. This is sweet. If you can't get that, don't work on that. Work on this. This is sweet. So we have like a beginner, intermediate, and advanced motion to this. But eventually what you're going to do is wrist roll up, wrist roll down, extra beat, wrist roll up, down, extra beat. And then your other hand's going to do offset. Remember, because we're going in split time, we only do it as soon as the hand gets to the top. How do you do that with two hands? Well, you got to get one hand more trained than the other to start with usually. So that way, this hand can be moving and you're going to figure out, okay, what am I supposed to do with this again? As soon as my hand's up to the top, this starts moving up to the top. So get one hand really good so that way you don't have to think about it and you can focus on the other hand while this thing just keeps moving. But essentially, you're going to be working like, it's going to be that same feel. You can even turn your hips with it and feel it with the way that your hips swing. It's going to be swing, swing, swing. And fly away like a little bird. So where does it all go? That's what we want to know. So we can do these now. It'd be really hard to do with hand rolls. I don't think a lot of people do it this way, but you can. And then we also have the split time version, which is what a lot of chuckers do. This is a really good one. You can add extensions and big hand embellishments where you can keep it nice and tight. What else? Well, we have downwards version of the exact same thing too. I mean, we can work the downwards. I don't see it too often, but it's going to kind of be the same thing. We're creeping through and down. I don't even do that much, but I'm just saying. And we haven't even gotten into same time, same direction, and split time, same direction too. And this is going to be like where a lot more of that poi type motions come into, and that gets really fun. For now though, work on the standard. I would like to call this kind of the standard of doubles. I feel like a lot of it comes that way. And then of course, the other one is the weaves. Split time, same direction as well. So as you can tell, split time is a very common one for nunchuckers, and it's awesome. But don't forget, I mean, you are gonna have other things that you can start working on, and we'll probably work on a few of them together. Well, no, my phone's ringing. Hope this helps, and yeah, enjoy.